Hey guys, welcome back. In today's episode, we're going to be working on giving this bike a tune-up. It is a Canyon Grail CFSL. It's a hybrid, it's a road bike, sorry. It's got the bones of a hybrid, but the tires are definitely for road. Could be converted to a hybrid bike though. Anyway, I digress. The customer is wanting to give this bike a tune-up, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give him my standard tune-up, which involves lubing everything up, cleaning cassette, aligning the wheels, just making sure everything is running as it should. So anyway, sit back and relax if you can, and maybe you'll learn something today as well as me maybe learning some things too. So yeah, let's go to it. See how things are right now. The customer had told me that he was in a race recently and the rear derailleur basically somehow got caught up into the wheel, the spokes, and just made a mess of things. And they tried to fix it the best they could, so let's see where things are right now. Seems fine to me. I guess whatever they did, fixed it, because they got all the gears. So, good there. Let's check out the front. And right off the bat, I can see where the front derailleur is really scrubbing hard. Let's see if it can actually go up a gear. Okay, definitely went up. That's good. So looks like it just needs to give a little bit of breathing room on the front derailleur for starting. No big deal there. That can just be a limit screw adjustment. So outside of that, let's see how the brakes are doing. He did say that the brakes are squealing. So yeah, I can hear it. I can tell they probably are squeaking. They are grabbing pretty good though. All right. Not a whole lot that needs to be done, honestly. I hate how this camera won't go to follow my face, but whatever. You don't need to see my face. I'm assuming you just want to watch the repair work. So first things first, let's go ahead and take off the rear wheel and clean the cassette and align the wheel if it needs alignment. And we'll do that for both the rear and front. So let's get to it. Okay. There we go. Okay, let's get our cassette tool removal. That's interesting over there. Okay, let's see what we got. Get my chain whip. And my socket wrench. Go. Not too bad. You can see a little bit here. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and clean that. So I'm gonna clean that first and then I'll be right back. All right, now that things are cleaned and completely apart from each other, I'm gonna go ahead and clean the wheel, get things trued and all that good stuff. So, all right, so let's get to it. And I use Dawn Power Wash, just anything that's soft and gentle on parts of the bike. And it looks like I need to get a new one of this one. Let's get to it. You see what I'm doing? Hopefully. But now I'm just spraying the wheel to clean the rim, make it look nice and pretty. Okay. This other side as well. All right, spokes look pretty good, but I'll give them a little once over. Hope you can see what I'm doing. The other side. Okay. All right, and everything else looks really clean, so I'm not gonna worry too much about up here. But yeah, let's go ahead and check out the alignment of this. Okay, as close as possible. Okay. There we go. I want to hear some in-between scrubs, or rubs rather, so that I know what I need to do. Okay, let's go ahead and get my tools out and see which one of these is going to do the job for me. Blue maybe. Something tells me it's gonna be black. No. Blue feels a little big, but alright. We'll try it. One other thing I like to do is lube up the nipples so that, because in the past I've actually done this before and the spoke broke because the nipple wasn't lubed up. Excuse me, not the spoke itself didn't break, it was the end going into the nipple that broke. It was just not in a good place. Okay, should be good. Now let's go ahead and start doing this. And I'll probably do I'll probably speed up the video on this so that you don't have to be bored about it. But here we go. All right, I think that's pretty good. Now I'm going to get the rotor, make sure it's good. Okay. Oh, that's perfect. Cool. Let me wipe off my brow. Hot. All right, on to the next wheel. Actually, before I do that, I gotta put the cassette back on, so let's do that now. All right, let's get this cassette back on this wheel. Let's go ahead and put some grease around the spindles. Okay. Start with the first one. One down. Two. Okay. Okay. See if it has separation. Yeah, okay. Now we put the spacers in. Make sure they're nice and flat. Okay. And it took me a little while to get to understand this, but whenever doing this, when there are so many separations, I always look, there's either two things I look for. One is numbers. There's usually numbers only on one side, and the one with the numbers usually is the one that's on top, like facing up. The other thing I also look for is kind of the, I don't know if you can see this in the camera or not, but there are grooves inside each one of these pieces, like kind of waves. And those grooves in the cassette, from what I've seen from doing these things, are only facing up. There's little grooves on the other side, but the ones that go really deep in, like this, maybe you can see it, I don't know. There's a groove right there that goes pretty deep in. That tells you that it faces up. So either numbers or those deep grooves. Okay. It's pretty flat. There we go. Which is laying flat, so I'll let that be. Okay. Here we go. And the numbers. Okay. Yep. And numbers. Okay. Looks good. And at the end, when you're done with the spacers, just look for the one that has kind of a lift on the cog. That part goes down. There. Is it in? Okay, yeah, it's flat. And the final one. Okay, looks good. Once it gets smashed in, everything should be good. So let's check it out. Last thing to do is to put some grease on the lock ring, or lock nut, whatever you want to call it. I go all the way until it stops finger, and then lock it in with the cassette tool. Start at 15 and go down to 30. It's typically what I've seen works. Okay. Sometimes I've had to go almost all the way around because of how the cassette was, but should be good. All right, let's get the front wheel off. Okay, a little tidbit of information for you when you're taking these off. You'll notice that the axles, one's longer and one's shorter. This one goes in the rear, this one goes in the front. The rear is longer because it has to deal with the cassette or the freewheel. So yeah, that's why this is longer, and you'll know that the long one goes in the rear in case you ever get confused. All right, let's get the front wheel. Let's go ahead and clean it up. Perfect. All right, cool. We're done here. All right, let's do the rear wheel first. Okay. Go. Looks good. That's interesting. Wow. Okay. I need to check the chain sag. No, it's fine. Just seems this touches right here until you start going. Just kind of sits there. Seems kind of odd to me, but I don't know. It's not chain stretch, but feels like it should have a little bit more tightness if it's just sitting there and not actually touching it. Won't worry about that right now. Okay, so front is on. Why is that popping? That's not good. Okay. It could be that this rear derailleur is bent. Now that I got this thing on straight, let me make sure that I align this thing on correctly. It's on. Very, very straight. And yet that's happening. Okay, interesting. I also don't like how this, man, between Dior and Ultegra, I don't like how the wire gets routed. They both are doing the same thing. I can see that the previous person was trying to make it better, make it work, but geez, just crappy. Do not like that. Because right now it's just sitting on the chain. And it appears to be touching it too. Huh. Why would they route it that way? I don't understand that. It's just, I don't know, poor design in my opinion. Alright, so let me fix the limit screw. Try to get a little straighter. 2 mil. Alright, let's see what we got here. Okay, so apparently the high is on the bottom because I didn't move anything. So let's loosen that up again. Try the top one. Yep, that one moved. Weird. Low is on the top. Another weird thing. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's see. Let me go in reverse first. Okay. Still hear it clicking. All right, let's get the front tire on now. Okay. Go. Has a slight little bit of scrub to it, but not bad. I think that's an easy fix though. All right, cool. All right, let's work on the front derailleur and get this thing working the way it should. Let's see what kind of tools we need. It looks like this is a interesting setup. Where is my limit screw? All right, so I had to consult Google on this one. Apparently, this front derailleur doesn't have traditional limit screws. So, let's see what we got. It's a very odd way of doing this, but then again, I mean, I guess it makes sense, but whatever. So what I want to do is make it so that when it's in its relaxed state, it goes forward a little bit. So let's see what we got. There we go, it's going forward. Just a tad. Okay. It's not scrubbing anymore, so that's good. See, it's still going in. Yep. Good there. Very good. So we're good there. All right, happy with that. The rear, I gotta see what's going on here. I think his accident caused this thing to get bent. No, actually, first thing I need to do is check the hanger and make sure it's good. Let's see what we got there. So I'm gonna go ahead and, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and detach this hanger and see what we got here. And let's see what we're dealing with here. I'm gonna line it up onto the wheel. All right, so I've got it there. And now what we want to do is pull this bar back, and rotate it all the way down. Actually, before I do that, make sure I do it against the valve. Even though I did set these correctly in the wheelchair, still want to do it the right way. There's that. Bring the valve down. Bring this up. You see what I'm doing here? I think you can. And bring this to the bottom. See how far off we are. Not that bad, actually. Let me check the top now. Whoops. Oh. Come on. Yeah, they're about the same. So, pretty happy with that. All right. Check the sides. Okay. Oh, that's pretty far off, actually. Yeah. There. Okay. Let's see how that looks on the other side now. You want them to be about equal. This one's slightly off. Okay. One more time. It's not far, but still want it to be just right. Okay. All right, let's see how things are now. Oops. Might help to put the hanger back on. Got my kids screaming in the background, so caught me off guard. The rear derailleur, I think it's bent. I think that's why this side's just popping a few times, but I'm still on the fence with that. But right now, the next process I need to do is actually clean the brakes, because he was saying they were squeaking. So yeah, and I'm gonna take these brakes out, take out the pistons and get the, not the pistons, sorry. I'm gonna take out the pads and see how they look, and chances are they're probably shiny, which is why he hears a squeal. But yeah, let's see what we got. There we go. All right, and that's the rear one. Cool. There she is. They look pretty good. Let's see how they I want to take them out. There, I should get it. There we go. Oh, there. Right. There we go. Come on. Jeez. It's tight. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh yeah, they're shiny. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see if I can get the light. There, you see it? Very shiny. Anyway, that's why it's doing that. Why it's squealing. So let's clean these up. Sand them down and clean them. Alright, let's clean these suckers up. So, here's the trash outside. Trash people. Let's go ahead and clean this part first. Do a little initial clean before I scrub them down. Okay. Actually, I'll go in this now. And I typically rub them or sand them down a little bit with like a figure 8 motion. Okay, it's looking better already. Okay, I'm good with that. And the next one. Okay. I'm happy with that. Alright, let's clean them. Get all of what I just did off the surface. You see all that. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but yeah, right there. All these marks are from getting all the brake dust and grime and everything off the pad. Been trying different methods for a while now, and this seems to work the best for me. And I like these because you can see right through them. And this is kind of a drywall sander, so as you're going through, it's letting particles through. And for this, I think it works perfect. You see the table is dark from this, but all the dust from the brake pad falls through this sander that's perforated, I guess, because it's got holes through it. But yeah, it goes right through it, so it makes it easier to do. I like it. It works for me. Okay, so I'm gonna clean the inside of the caliper. Doesn't need much, but just a little spray. Just to kind of get any kind of dust, brake dust, what have you in there, out of it. Okay. And now for the rotor. For me, whenever I look at this, I'm looking to see how shiny the rotor is. If it's really shiny, then it needs to be sanded down a bit. And since we just got through sanding down the pads, that's almost like putting on brand new pads. So when you do that, we'll have to go through the bed-in process. And the other portion of that is cleaning the rotor so that it has a fresh start as well. Because if you have old brake dust off of an old pad, then they're not going to be happy together, and you're not going to have as much brake power. So yeah, you got to clean both sides. Both sides need cleaning. Both sides need sanding. So first thing I do is I go ahead and spray this down just to clean some stuff off, and then I sand it, and then I clean it one more time. Let's go ahead and get through this. First spray. Just make sure you can see me. Not too bad. Alright, now let's sand it down. Use 320 grit. to use sand down. That's what I prefer. Just rolling the wheel, looking for shine. And I'm not talking about like, I'm not trying to just dull it down. I'm more trying to give it sort of a matte finish. All right, I think we're good. Okay. All right, spray one more time. Okay, and dry it. And then I got some on the inside of the rotor, so try that a little bit. Saw it dripping a bit. Okay. All right, I think we're good here. All right. I'm liking that much better. So yeah, I was dealing with a few things off camera, but I didn't want to waste you guys' time watching this, and I wanted to figure out what was going on here. So there's basically a few things. One was the chain was too loose, so I took 2 links out from the chain. Notice how it's not touching, or I'll show you what I mean. So it's not touching the frame anymore, so that's good. Before it was just kind of flapping around. It's not doing that anymore. So that was the first big thing. The other one was definitely straightening the hanger. But the third thing that actually got me a bit, and I was shocked that this made a difference. I originally put the cassette on and everything looked good. It looked flat. All the layers looked flat. But when I put it on the bike, I was noticing a wobble. And typically, especially with a freewheel, you'll see a little wobble when the wheel's turning. Didn't think much of it. But as I started thinking about it more, it seemed like it was wobbling oddly, not like you normally would with a freewheel. So I was like, something just doesn't seem right here. So I took it off, completely took off the cassette. I redid all the layers of the cogs and tightened it. And this time when it tightened, it seemed to tighten better. Yeah, and then as soon as I started spinning it, I wasn't seeing any wobble. So I was like, well, that's just strange that that's even a thing. But clearly when I was putting it on before, initially it didn't go on very well, or I messed up something, not sure. Regardless, I put it back on here and then I started spinning it and it was perfect. No wobble whatsoever. So once I saw that, I was like, well, that's probably one of the big things that was causing this. So anyway, yeah, those 3 things. Now it's quiet, it's flowing as it's changing gears as it should, and all seems to be good. So yeah, at this point, shifting's good, brakes are good, even though he'll need to bed them in since I can't. with the height of this bike, and I can adjust that. But and the front is doing just fine. Like I said before, it has a little scrub to it, but not a big deal. It's kind of quiet. But yeah, all's well. All right, there you have it. Another tune-up under the books, in the books, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, we fixed the shifting. The gear indexing is good. I'm kind of on the fence on the rear derailleur as to whether it needs to be replaced or not. I was able to unbend, or straighten, I guess it's a better term, straighten out the hanger, and the hanger seems fine now. It seems to be shifting well, and the popping noises coming from the last jockey wheel, the second jockey wheel, seems to be gone. So seems all well there. The front derailleur is good now, so it's shifting well. It still rubs a little bit, but I mean, all front derailleurs rub at a certain point, even if it's just a little bit. It's not loud, but there is a little rubbing there. Brakes are good. I was not able to bed them in because the saddle is too high for me, and I don't want to adjust it because he has electric tape where he wants it to be perfect. So I'm not removing that, and that obviously can't slide into the seat tube. So yeah, I'm gonna let him bed him in on his own time. But outside of that, yeah, I think we're good here. Chain's been lubed. This is hydraulic, so I don't need to worry about the. No, there's no cables going to the brakes. Don't need to lube those up. The shifting, everything is basically covered, but it shifts well. I don't feel any grit. I don't feel anything bad, so that doesn't need to be lubed up either. So no cables need to be lubed up right now. I think we're in a good place. Yeah, I like it. Everything sounds good, sounds smooth. Shifting is gonna always be a little noisy, depending on how high end you go. But yeah, so I think we're good. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video, and until the next one, take care.